All right, hey everyone. We're now on the corner of Orange Street, and today we're going to be doing a walking tour to Dumbo and through Dumbo, Brooklyn. As we start to walk towards Dumbo, you're going to see this pretty striking condo building, and that is Olympia Dumbo. It has some of the best views of any condo in Brooklyn, because you're sitting right over the Brooklyn Bridge, looking at the entire skyline of Lower Manhattan, with picture-perfect views of the one and only World Trade Center and the Statue of Liberty. Now, we're just exiting the Brooklyn Heights neighborhood of Brooklyn. We've started from downtown Brooklyn. We walked by the brand new Brooklyn Tower, which was developed by JDS. Walked a little bit of the Fulton Street Mall. And now, we're going to continue on our journey through Dumbo. Even though that it's a little bit of a crummy weather day in New York City, Dumbo, Brooklyn is still beautiful to see, but it doesn't do it justice. We'll have to come back and film more videos during the spring and the summer. This is Poppy's. This is like a cafe, market, bakery. You can grab a coffee here. This place is pretty good. I come here often. Well, as often as I'm in either Dumbo or Brooklyn Heights. Now, Olympia Dumbo is this tremendous building directly in the distance. And you could even see the Brooklyn Bridge. That's the main on-ramp to the Brooklyn Bridge that will take you, obviously, from Brooklyn over to Manhattan. You can see a lot of beautiful architecture on this walk. Lots of old mixed with the new. You're going to see quite the contrast between what the old Dumbo Brooklyn used to look like and what the more modernist Dumbo is becoming. Now, you might notice, looking at Olympia Dumbo in the distance, the architect on the deal wanted the building to resemble a sail of the sailboat and give the overall building more nautical vibes to it, which makes sense because you're overlooking the water. And all along the Brooklyn coastline back in the day, it was tons of import-export business here. Much of that still goes on today, but to a lesser degree. You can see some of the traffic backing up here. This is everybody waiting to get onto the on-ramp to the Brooklyn Bridge. And you can see the Brooklyn Bridge right in front of us now. Look at this. You have two original gas lanterns. Look at how beautiful that is. Now, we're going to make a left, and coming into view is going to be some incredible shots of the World Trade Center. But all along here behind Olympia Dumbo are ultra-luxury, luxury condominiums and luxury rental buildings that have great skyline views of the city. Dumbo is actually more expensive in many regards than some places in Manhattan. It is a very, very sought-after place to live in Dumbo, Brooklyn. And here we go. You have the money shot of those beautiful arches of the Brooklyn Bridge in the distance. As we continue to walk down, there's also a really good coffee shop. It's called Arabica. Well, originally I thought it was going to be too cloudy to see the spire of the World Trade Center, but if you look dead centered in the frame right here, you can see the spire of the One World Trade Center, and right in front of it, that is 130 William Street, and of course, the main Brooklyn Bridge arch. I'll give you all one more shot of Olympia Dumbo. We're now walking down Old Fulton Street. If you just take this all the way down, you'll run right into the main area of Dumbo, where you'll be right on the water. That white building that you see there is a great pizza shop. One Front Street, that's Grimaldi's Pizza. Look at that. I just love this shot of the Brooklyn Bridge. If I zoom in, now that it's winter, you can see a little bit of the Jane's Carousel right at the park over there. And now this is the corner of Front Street. That white building, that's what I was telling you about. That is Grimaldi's. You also have Spumoni Gardens too, right here on the corner, just off to your left. You'll see it after all of this construction. Green scaffolding. Here you have it. L&B Spumoni Gardens. And then the beautiful facade of Grimaldi's there. Look at that shot of Lower Manhattan. So from here you really get a sense of how good the views are, right? Because you have Olympia Dumbo there. And it's like you're floating on top of the Brooklyn Bridge, looking at all of Lower Manhattan. And Here you have the main Grimaldi's now. Cold Brick Oven Pizzeria. Just the building in and of itself is fantastic. And across the water, you'll be able to see the Tin Building. I do have some bad news because the Tin Building is actually gone out of business, or it's in the process of going out of business. The Tin Building by Jean-Georges didn't really attract many customers, so they will no longer be in operation. Which is unfortunate, but it's pretty hard down there, right? Because all along Water Street, there's not a lot of activity, and nobody really goes down there to the South Street Seaport during the winter, just because it's so brutal. So to attract people down to the seaport during the winter months is really impossible, particularly for the price point that Jean-Georges commands, right? Michelin star stuff. I believe what is going to replace the Tin Building is some balloon museum, I think. Not 100% sure about that, but I feel like that's what I read somewhere. Across the street, you have one of my favorite coffee shops in all of New York City. And that is Arabica Coffee. Here you have Water Street. Let's see what this sign says here. Team Dumbo, Dumbo Happy Hour. First Wednesdays, 5 p.m. until late. Check out this view. This is a great shot of the Brooklyn Bridge, but in the distance, even though that it's cloudy out, you can see the spire of the Empire State Building, as well as Central Park Tower just in front of the Manhattan Bridge. This is also a really good pizza place here, Ignacio's. This has really good pizza. In the summer, they have takeout slice window that's open right here. So you could just walk up and get a slice. With inflation, everything's expensive now. A single slice of cheese is $5. Pepperoni, $5.50. Sicilian, $5.50. Sicilian with pepperoni, $6 now for just a single slice of pizza at Ignacio's. Now that huge glass building you're looking at in the distance, that is Extel's One Manhattan Square. That is their luxury condo building. Extel is the same developer responsible for pioneering New York City's Billionaires Row, starting first with 157 West 57th Street, and then later on with Central Park Tower. Let's go ahead and cross first, and then we'll double back. But look at how nice the streets are. These are some of the original Belgian block streets of Dumbo, Brooklyn. And here you have the Luke's Lobster, and we're quite literally walking under the Brooklyn Bridge. From this side, you'll be able to get some perspective of just how beautiful the buildings are. So, just the building that houses Ignacio's Pizza. You also have a Shake Shack over here. I mean, all along Water Street, you have those gorgeous buildings as well as the original Belgian block streets. And of course, we can't forget about the Brooklyn Ice Cream Factory. This place is always busy in the summer. If we turn right, this is where you can get the ferry. And just off to the right of us is the River Cafe. Very popular spot for weddings and different events. Great views of Lower Manhattan, Brooklyn Bridge. Check this out. It's like the beach. And you can see that River Cafe. Looking up at the Brooklyn Bridge. This is now the Dumbo Fulton Ferry landing. Oh, perfect timing. It's pulling up right now. In the summer, you usually have this unbelievable line right here as everybody wants to take it to enjoy the views of the city. Because it's essentially like getting a tour of Manhattan without having to pay the outrageous prices. It smells really good down here too. I just love that shot of Midtown Manhattan. It looks like something's going on over at the Manhattan Bridge. You can see a lot of the FDNY activity over there. And there's that Olympia Dumbo. This is kind of a brand new gazebo looking thing at the Brooklyn Bridge Park. They even have a small concession stand too for people to get food and drink. And the boardwalk's really nice. It's well maintained, it's not all chopped up. They did a really, really good job down here in Dumbo, Brooklyn. I love the neighborhood, I really like it a lot. The Van Leeuwen, this is a very cute place here. The building's nice. And these are all really nice hotels and apartments the further you walk down here. Well, I think the LIU Brooklyn is doing some photo shoots for perhaps some of the athletic staff over here. And this is looking back at that Shake Shack, Ignacio's. We'll wait for the light and then we'll go ahead and explore the Brooklyn Ice Cream Factory. It's closed right now, but here it is, the original and world famous Brooklyn Ice Cream Factory. It's $8 for one scoop, $10 for two scoops, and $12 for three scoops. There's always a line here, always a line in the summer, without fail. Right in between Everett and Elizabeth Place, you have that famous Arabica coffee in that stunning location. So you could sit down right here, grab a coffee, and you have great views overlooking Manhattan. It's one of the coolest interiors of a coffee shop, I think, in the city. It's actually probably best to come in the winter because in the summer it's very, very hard to get a spot. So this is essentially what you're looking at from the coffee shop. You can see the original streets. We'll go ahead and make a left here, and we'll start to head a little bit closer towards the Manhattan Bridge, just so you can get a different perspective of what it's like over on that side of Dumbo, Brooklyn. And then we'll quickly veer off to the right. This way we'll actually pass right in front of Olympia Dumbo. I can actually smell the Grimaldi's pizza from the sky. It smells amazing. And here we are, under the Brooklyn Bridge. balconies are really something. If you go up on top of the Brooklyn Bridge, you can see the tennis courts that are up at Olympia Dumbo. So we've now just passed under the Brooklyn Bridge, headed over towards the Manhattan Bridge. There's also a lot of interesting thrift stores down this way. And there's a huge open thrift shop on the weekends, which is great to go to in the summer. This is now on the corner of Main Street. Here you can see the facade of Olympia Dumbo a little bit better. You can kind of see how it kind of caresses the sky and forms the shape of the sailboat. There's the main entrance, and then you also have the big valet entrance as well. One of the things I like is if you stand right here, you get this perfectly centered shot of the Empire State Building. So right as you walk out of Olympia Dumbo, you already start to have really good views of this city. This building's quite nice too. Interesting design. See a lot of the new infrastructure here. But thank God they kept those original Belgian block streets. And now we're looking right at the Manhattan Bridge. Wait until you see this building. So you have the Empire stores to the left. Nice bakery right here. But the Empire stores are really, really nice. This is 60 Water Street. This is a luxury rental building. Right. Oops. It's a nice place to come to get out of the rain. All different types of restaurants in here. And a tremendous food court. I remember coming to this place last summer and it was so busy. They even have an Essa bagel in here. This is one of the entrances and exits again. They definitely make it nice in there. I'm glad to see it's semi-busy, even on a miserable day like today. But since we're here, let's take a little bit of a detour and check out Jane's Carousel. You could hear the roar of the subway coming over the Manhattan Bridge. Here's the famous Jane's Carousel. This is looking over towards Williamsburg, Brooklyn. You definitely feel that wind the closer you get to the water. And that's the Empire Stores again. And there is Jane's Carousel. Once you get close enough to the river, you could really get a feel for just how fast that water is moving. And look at that. It's so cloudy now, you can't even see the spire of the World Trade Center. There you can see the ferry taking off. Last summer there was a horrible accident over here. There was like an original Mexican Navy boat that crashed into the Brooklyn Bridge. It was just a horrible, horrible event. Perhaps they'll have a memorial up. How cool is that to see the World Trade Center, the very spire, is stuck in the clouds. And this will loop us right back around to where we were by the Ignacios and the Grimaldis. It's a surreal feeling walking under the bridge, because you get an idea for just how tremendous the structure is. Kind of makes you appreciate it more, architecturally speaking. And you could even see a little bit of the Brooklyn Tower in between. That's the tallest building in Brooklyn. Take a quick detour here and I'll show you the River Cafe. We'll walk right through the park here. When everything's in full bloom and the flowers are out, as well as the leaves on the trees, this is a really, really special place. Check out the dining room. This is the main entrance to the River Cafe. And that's the dining room. And this is the valet entrance, so if you wanted to bring a car, come right through here. I haven't tried this Thai restaurant, but I hear that it's very good. In the summer they have like a little cart outside for the mango sticky rice. But I haven't eaten inside here. Obviously the Elephant District. The Thai restaurant is called Elephant. And this 7th Street burger is very popular now too. I believe the burgers are very cheap. They're like $5. If you guys enjoyed that walking tour of Dumbo, Brooklyn, feel free to leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and as always, we will see you in the next one. Thank you so much for watching. Take care.